Everybody thinks that being broke starts with your bank account, but it really starts up here. But Jaspreet, I don't have any money to pay my rent. How is it up here? It's over here. Well, let's look at the numbers. The majority of people assume that if I just made more money, that my money problems would magically go away. So if I could make 6 figures a year, $100,000 a year, that I'll be good and I won't have to worry about being broke again. But if you look at the numbers, what you'll see is that 6 out of 10 millennials who are making over $100,000 a year are broke and living paycheck to paycheck. But maybe $100,000 a year isn't enough to not be broke. Well, if you look at the Americans making $250,000, $250,000 a year, 1 out of 3 of them are broke and living paycheck to paycheck. More money without the right financial education just leads to bigger financial problems. And if you still don't believe me, ask Michael Vick, or ask Mike Tyson, or ask Nicolas Cage. If you don't know how to manage your money when you have $1,000, you're not going to know how to magically manage your money when you have $1 million. But I will tell you that it's a lot easier to manage your money when you have more money, but you have to start by understanding how to manage your money when you have less money. What I've seen happen over my years of talking about financial education is that for the majority of people, when you increase your income to here, then all of a sudden what happens is you think that, oh, now I have this margin between my income and my expenses, so I'm going to be financially okay. But what ends up happening actually is you increase your income to here and then your expenses, boop, magically go up to meet your income. Because when the majority of people make more money, when you get a raise, well, you get a bigger home, or you get a nicer car, or you go on a bigger vacation. And this happens across the board, that when people make more money, they spend more money. So if you want to actually not be broke, you have to start by understanding the spending. This doesn't mean you don't ever have to earn more money. There's a lot of value to earning more money. We'll talk about that too. But you have to start by understanding how to control your spending. Because if you can control your spending, now you can earn a whole lot more money and you can actually enjoy the wealth because you know how to spend the money. Plus, it pays to learn these lessons sooner rather than later, because when you make less money, you're going to have smaller financial holes. It's easier to dig yourself out of a $10,000 financial hole than it is to dig yourself out of a $250,000 financial hole, so it pays to learn these lessons sooner rather than later. To really understand the value of not being broke anymore, I want you to start by imagining a life where you have an extra $10,000 a month hitting your bank account every single month right now. What would you do right now if you made an extra $10,000 a month? Would you go live somewhere else? Would you buy a nicer car? Would you buy a bigger home? Would you go on a vacation? Or what would you do with that money? See, if you're thinking in terms of spending, this is what we got to change first. Because in our society, it's completely normal to think in terms of spending. If I made 10 grand, I would go to Cancun. If I made another 50 grand, I'd go out and buy a Beamer. If I had another $500,000, I'm going to go buy myself a mansion. When you think in terms of spending, what happens is when you earn more money, you spend more money. So you have to change the way you think first. That way you can change what you do with your money. Because now what you want to be thinking is, if I can make an extra 10 grand a month, that's an extra 10 grand that I could invest into assets that are going to produce me more cash flow. That's more cash flow every single month. And now I can live off of the cash flow, and this extra 10 grand a month is just buying me more assets. Because what wealthy people are doing is when they make money, they're not buying things. When wealthy people make money, they're buying investments. These investments that wealthy people are buying don't make you look rich, but these investments give you cash flow. And now this cash flow is money that you can spend, and it's money that will keep coming month after month after month. So you can blow this cash flow and not have to worry because you got another month of cash flow coming in next month. The most accessible way to have more money is to spend less money, period. Because all you have to do is cut down some of your expenses. Now, this is not easy because now you might have to sell your car. You might have to downsize your home. You might have to sell some of your stuff. You might have to get rid of the massage membership. You might have to start doing things that are giving you a certain luxury or a certain lifestyle. But it is the most accessible way to have more money in your pocket. Because the reality to building wealth is not that complicated. You have to spend less, you have to earn more, and then you invest like crazy. That is the formula to wealth. But now the question is, how do you actually do it? And the most accessible, not the funnest thing, not necessarily the best thing to do forever, but the most accessible in the early stages thing to do is to spend less money. When you know how to do that, when you can cut down your expenses, when now no matter how much money you make, you're going to have a buffer to have cash to invest, to have money to save. Now you have a system in place where, oh, you make more money, Now you have more money to invest. And you're not just going to go out and blow all of your money, because what happens for most people, like I've been saying, is you make more money and you spend all of your money. But the quickest way to increase your wealth is when you get a pay raise, don't inflate your lifestyle. Inflate your lifestyle slower than you inflate your investments. If you can inflate your investments faster than you inflate your lifestyle, you are going to be on a trajectory to continue growing your wealth way faster than your expenses. That is the secret to becoming wealthy. And now, if you can keep growing your investments, that means you're going to keep getting paid even if you're not going to work. And if you can get paid without going to work, now you're hitting a level of financial freedom that most people only dream of. And this might sound like it's forever away because, oh my God, Jaspreet, how in the world am I ever going to do that? I only have $100 to invest. Well, $100 is better than $0. And sure, you're not going to get the hugest returns with $100, but it's better than nothing. And you got to get started. Once you can do $100, that means you can do $200. If you can do $200, that means you can do $400. And now it's all about stacking the cash. But not stacking the cash to buy a car. It's not stacking the cash to buy a vacation. It's stacking the cash to buy an asset. Stacking the cash to buy an investment. And now these investments will start stacking the cash that you can spend. Because if you can start stacking your investments and each one of these investments are paying you, well, now you got a lot of cash flow coming in, and if you can live off of the cash flow, now you're financially free. You don't got to worry about the money because you know how to control your expenses.